Well, I will say I don't think it's quite shocking. We saw he did not perform, as well in Iowa after he dedicated all of his time and his resources in that state. He went to all 99 counties. And, we saw this really complex situation where the super PAC and the campaign were intertwined in ways that we've really never seen. And, as a reporter who was on the ground covering some of this, it was very complicated to figure out, who exactly is putting on a campaign event. Is it the campaign or is it the super PAC? And I think there was a lot of mixed communication with that, and the organization of the campaign just wasn't as good as it should have been. And then you just have to look at this enthusiasm, this excitement for former President Trump. I mean,
at the same time, though, could this potentially supercharge or turbocharge Nikki Haley's campaign, because she has now what she wanted, a two-person race?
I think that remains to be seen. New Hampshire could be a very interesting state to watch. I will say, when I was out on the trail and when I was speaking with voters, a lot of the ones that were deciding between DeSantis were also considering President Trump. So the electorate that really is looking at Nikki Haley, a lot of those people were not considering Ron DeSantis. And a lot of the Ron DeSantis supporters were not considering Nikki Haley. So that is something that is really interesting to put into perspective here. But, it does remain to be seen. New Hampshire, we saw Governor Ron DeSantis, he was polling at 6%. So there certainly is a chance that this could help Haley, move up a little quicker. Haley really has to overperform with those independent voters. This is a state that voted for President Trump in 2016, voted for Mitt Romney in 2012, voted for John McCain in 2008, a state that is known to show us some surprises. So we're going to have to watch and see if this has any impact for Nikki Haley. But as you said, this is something that she's been wanting. She's been saying since coming out third in Iowa that she wanted a two-person race. And how she has it, the big question is she able to actually build on this and form a coalition of supporters? Obviously what we saw in Iowa, 56,000 people in the state voted for Trump. That's not that many. And that's what some of Nikki Haley's supporters are trying to say, like Chris Sununu of New Hampshire. They're saying, look, a huge percentage of the Republican electorate does not like former President Donald Trump. And so we got to give her a chance. But we are seeing a lot of pressure from Trump surrogates, folks on Capitol Hill. We're seeing Steve Daines of the NRSC saying, let's coalesce around former President Donald Trump. So a lot of pressure behind the scenes, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, and it is really a really exciting race. See what happens. Samantha-Jo, stay with us. We'll have a lot more.